Right, so first step then with rebuilding from scratch is your little base hood over the handbrake before you put any seals. Then you have this lad, goes back in there and you know where it should be. If you forget, rewind the video, but just go back in, you'll see the clips are there for it. They already exist, so you're just reseating them as careful as you can to try and retain them. Then you'll just want your long guy with your cup holder tray, your power point, your 12 volt port, and just the little rectangle window there for your USB and auxiliary connections in the center console. So just be careful putting it back. If you do break the clips, it'll still sit back in. It just won't be as snug as it used to be, but I mean, there's no panic. But if you can go as slow as you can and just sit it in gently, you should be able to get away without breaking any of the clips. Right, so you can see that's in nicely there now. You still have the bar here, so you can just replace your luxury PVC vinyl handbrake handle. Nice and tight, and now you can really see the improvement from a while ago where, you know, it's just 5 or 6 clanks and it's getting full engagement there. It's getting absolutely full handbrake applied. So your cup holders are back, and now you just sit back your gear stick and just sit that into place. Maybe putting the cover over that. It looks dirty on the camera, but I have given this a wipe and I will give it a good clean now when I'm finished here. And before that, obviously, you need to keep this guy up actually and just get your little power connectors there. See, they're basic electrical power feeds. You can just feed them back up and get them in through here, and they'll be sitting into your little rectangle frame that keeps your port available for auxiliary, plug-in phones. You can charge your phones obviously that way without using the 12 volt if you don't have one of those old-fashioned chargers, just to restore your USB. It's not essential, it's just an extra in a car that most people like to have available to them to use. So as I said, all the way through, this is always these are nooks and crannies that are just hard to get cleaned properly. I mean, even if you go for a valet and get them really detailed, you might still find that there's so much grime down the cracks. So just, it's good to clean as you go when you're restoring this. Make sure it's dry before you connect and reconnect the electrics, because that would be bad. Not that you get your hand blown off, but you could cause a little bit of rust there and deterioration, and might spoil those power points for you. Right, so obviously the left one here USB, the left one here USB, circular one is your auxiliary. You'll be able to feed that in, and don't forget as well, your 12 volt is disconnected from earlier, so you need to just keep this raised. Just show you there, you just need to feed through. So this, your USB will be here, it's the shortest one, so leave that to last, it's finicky. Your auxiliary is short as well, but it's just here. And then your 12 volt for your cigarette lighter style old fashioned is this guy here, which you need to reconnect in the back of this. So just put your hand in here and you'll be able to see it and reconnect. Sometimes these do recoil quite a bit, so you will have to get a bit of purchase on them, but don't be afraid to pull them. So like this was way too short and deep to connect. The USB wasn't too bad, but as you can see, I've just reattached that there. It's a T connection, so you'll see the little skinny brass across and one long one down, so you know the shape. It reconnects, is quite easy, but you'll have to pull this guy up, and once you get it right position, it'll just reconnect like that, and you see nice and flush again. And now you can just sit this back in, just at the edge, just push it now, and perfect, good as new. Then, as I said, still needs a bit of a clean, fine brush to clean this, but you have your 3 ports again connected, so you can work away now with this. If you did unscrew your gear knob, just screw it back on, but if you just left it sit like that, just do what I did. And this is your last guy, which is your frame. so you'll just need, so this is one of your last parts. So as I said, you just need to feed this through, get the frame here, this frame all around the bag, angle it, just get it down without ripping it, and now you're ready to just click it into place. Get this to sit where you want this, so you can just click back in your frame console, sit this guy down, you'll hear the click. It's not anything breaking, it's just sitting back the way you want it. And the finishing touch is this little pointless little rubber mat. It's supposed to be a little grip for coins or something, but it's just another thing that gets really filthy in modern cars. So there, everything restored. It doesn't look like you were tampering. You've adjusted your handbrake, you're not impeded your gear stick, your power points are okay, you can test them straight away, and that's the end of it then. And it saves you a nice little bill at a mechanic to do what would be for him just a 5 or 10 minute job with a long socket if he gets his access. But for the ordinary person, just take things apart. It's not that difficult. Once you do it, you know that you're not going to ruin your car. You can just go gently with it and get it done nicely.